let me know if you heard this one. Drop a comment below if you have. But you're getting along with them all right. You know, you've had your ups and downs. You've had to go through the process of getting back in contact, talking to them a bit, getting into some rapport. You've had your hot and colds. But, you got through it all. Things seem to be smoothing out. Things seem to be going pretty well. But then suddenly they pull back and they end up telling you something like, you know what, you deserve better than me. Where's that coming from? Is this them trying to let you down easy? Is this them trying to tell you that they're not interested in a relationship? What's going on? And the truth is that it's actually a pretty good sign, because it means that they see the value that you have. They see the connection that they have with you as being worth something. They see you as a good partner. But they're afraid to take that next step forward. Maybe they have guilt or shame or regrets over how things happened in the past, maybe things that they did, how things went, maybe some of their actions or behaviors or words. They're basically trying to give you an out. They maybe in some level don't think that they deserve a partner like you. And so, like, where this falls in my understanding of how people go through this process of getting back together is that they're at the fourth stage of the 5 stages of getting back together that we call the crisis point. At the crisis point, that's when they see and accept and realize that there's something real there between the two of you. And in many ways, they want to take that step forward, but they're afraid to do it because now things are starting to get real. It's not just a matter of them intellectually thinking, what would it be like for me to spend some time with my ex? What would it be like? I don't have to make any decisions. I'm just curious. They're past that. And now they accept that they like you. Now they accept that there's good things there with you. Now they accept that the two of you have something. And now they have to figure out if they're going to be brave enough to take that step forward and to actually bring the two of you together again. This might sound easy enough, but it can be hard, If they're in a rebound relationship, they'll obviously have to end the rebound relationship in order to do this. If, they spent some time in the past telling their friends and family that the two of you broke up, maybe they even told their friends and family all the reasons why the two of you broke up, and now their friends and family don't like you for some reason. It can be kind of embarrassing to go back and say, actually, we're seeing each other again and we're going to work it out. There can be all sorts of other very real things that they need to change in their lives in order to make this happen. They may need to break a rental agreement somewhere in order for the two of you to move back together. They may need to get a new job if they moved somewhere far away. There could be a lot of things, especially if there's kids involved and stuff like that. There could be all kinds of practical things they have to deal with. And if they're not 100% sure that you're equally as on board with this as they are, making all of those changes is going to seem way too scary for them. And so they're going to try to do things to actively discourage you. They might say things like, you deserve better. They might say things like, you could just get any other, man or woman out there if you wanted. They might say all sorts of these other things. And it's coming not from a place of them trying to shoo you away, but for them really trying to feel out how much you want this. Now, they may not know that's why they're doing it, but that's why they're doing it. And so what you want to do in this case is to really reassure them that you do want to be in a relationship with them. They say you deserve better. You could handle it in a lot of different ways. Depending on the way it comes up, how the conversation goes, the context and all that. You could make a little joke. You could say, yeah, I know. But the truth is, I really want you. Or you could, maybe tell them, you know what, maybe that's what you think, but right now, you're the person that I want to be with more than anything. Now, I know that a lot of this goes against the grain of probably what you've heard you're supposed to say to your ex. You're supposed to pretend like you don't care. You're supposed to pretend like, you moved on, like you could take them or leave them or all that. And, maybe that makes sense at some other point in the process. I don't necessarily think so, but I could understand why a lot of other people might think so. But when they're at this point in the process, the crisis point, this is where you can actually say all the things that you're not supposed to say. This is where you can say things like, I love you. This is where you can say things like, I really care about you. This is where you can say things like, I want us to be together. Because they already like you. They already want to be with you. They're just looking for you to confirm that this is a good choice for them to make. That if they, take all these real steps towards bringing the two of you together, breaking up the rebound, telling the friends and family, getting a new job, moving back to the same city or something, that they're not just going to fall flat on their face. They're not going to do all of these things, and then you're going to say, hey, I don't want to be together. I think it's better that we did break up. Why did you go and break up with that other person to be with me? Why did you go and tell everyone we're getting back together? Now they're just going to feel embarrassed. At least this is their worst fear anyway. I mean, I don't think it's really terribly rational. Like if you take a step back and look at what's actually going on, I don't think it's really rational, but this is their biggest fear. And so what you need to do is you need to put that fear to rest by letting them know that yes, you actually do want to be in a relationship with them. You can do all of this. You can do all these things that you're, air quotes, not supposed to say to your ex. So you really don't need too much advice from me on what to say at this point. Because chances are, a lot of these things have been bouncing around in your mind and in your heart for quite a while. And all you have to do is just give yourself permission to say them, to just let it all out. And when that happens, that's when you can bridge that last step and move forward from the fourth stage of them getting back together, crisis point, towards the fifth stage, the last one of new beginnings, where you can actually seal the deal, get into a relationship again, and actually be an official couple again. Now, if you want to learn more about how to do all that, check out this video right up here, where we talk about how to actually get back together with your ex. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next